Right, Hamzah, we're in the luxurious Hollywood Hills here. Tell me a bit about living in LA.
It's to be fair, since we've been coming here, I've stayed all over the place. I've stayed in Inglewood, which is like about an hour and a bit away from the gym. I've stayed next to the gym, and last 2 or 3 camps have been staying here. And it's obviously the best location. It's I mean, you can actually go outside here and walk around, and it's safe and whatnot. The neighbourhood's good. You've got a hike literally just outside as well, so it's all good, man. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, what's it like to be in this part of LA and the sun's shining all year round, and as you said, you can walk up to the Hollywood sign just there.
No, it's good. It's good. I don't really see much of the outside. To be fair, like I said, I come here as soon as I land. It's all business. All business. I come, unpack my suitcase, get my boxing bag ready. The next morning we're running. We're at the gym, and then in the evening we're doing an evening session as well. So it is good. It's repetitive, very repetitive, but that's how you become a great, right?
What's a week look like? Are you training 5 days, 6 days?
Monday to Saturday we train. 3 times a day on a Monday, Wednesday. No, on a Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday, and then twice on a Tuesday, Thursday, and then a Saturday. So it's a lot of work being put in.
Say that again. God, that's hard. That's hard. Well, what's a rest day look like then?
Rest day is I have about 1.5 days. I have the whole of Sunday and half of Saturday, and the rest of Saturday I'll just be in my room chilling, watch a movie or whatnot. And then on Sunday, if I'm feeling up for it, we'll do the Hollywood hike. Literally just go outside the door and start the hike.
Not much of a rest.
Not really, nah. But when I get fitter, I'll start doing that. Otherwise, Sunday I'm just like in bed. I won't even come out my room unless I got to eat.
So I mean, you must be really fit now because it's been an extended camp, right? How long you been in camp for now?
I done 6 weeks when I had the injury because that was on the 6 weeks. Then I had about a month off to recover, and then we're back on the 6 week now. So it's coming up to the last week. Everything's touch wood going well. It's just I've got like I said, I've got the last week, so we just got to push through it, get it done, and that's it. We're back in England for the last 3 weeks.
Tell me about the ear injury. All good now?
Yeah, it's all good now. It's just one of them things that happens in sparring. Do you know what I mean? I got caught smack bang on the ear, and that was it. Boom, it went. And I knew there and then that I was in a bit of a pickle, but it's all good now. It's all good now. Like I said, we're back on it. Everything's been done to the best of my ability, and it's just everything just comes down to February the 10th.
Do you think that that's given him a bit of an extra kind of motivation?
It could do, but I think he's experienced enough to know that it don't really make a difference. I'm sure he's been in that position in his career as well because he's had a long career. Do you know what I mean? So it all depends how he sees it.
Talk to me about Ricky. You've been with him for quite a while now. Yeah. How's that relationship coming along, and how happy are you training with him?
No, it's good. It's now, only now, like recent last few fights, it's actually coming to fruition, and you're seeing what we was doing in the first camp actually happening now. But it's good if you see what he's like today. He's a teacher. He's a student of the game. So, and he's always calm. He's never under pressure, nothing like that. And he's been taught by the best in Joe Goosen, and he's been around the sport at the top level, at the pinnacle. So everything he does, I just do it. It's as simple as that. So if I says jab, I jab. He says throw a right hand, I'll throw it. And it's good, man. It's good. And at least we got this fight coming up will be a fight in which, as long as I do everything he says, it will show how our relationship is really working.
Is he the man you trust then to take you to world title fights?
Yeah, Ricky is definitely a man I trust. He's definitely the man I trust. Otherwise I wouldn't choose him. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be flying him back to the UK with us to do my corner and whatnot. But it took a few camps to gain that trust. Do you know what I mean? Because when it's a new person, you can't fully trust them. You can't fully, because they don't know you as a fighter and you don't know them as a coach, and vice versa. So now I've started to definitely trust what he's saying and trust the process, as I say.
Before we look ahead, let's look back. Yeah. You went into Poland. I'm going to try and pronounce his name, Mitrofanov. You went into his backyard, beat him comfortably. Just what are your reflections on the fight? Yeah,
Poland was good. The fight was good. Obviously, it was a lot quicker than I even anticipated myself. I thought I'd break him down within 6 to 8 rounds. But the whole fight week, the whole experience was just good to soak it in, being around Usyk, being around Dubois, and just seeing how the top level of sport actually works. Not that I didn't know, I had no clue, but it's just when you're there and when you're on the undercard and whatnot, you start to see how it works, like the open workouts and the weigh-ins and whatnot. So I took it all in my stride. It's one of them where fighters, they go there, it's either fight or flight. Do you know what I mean? I chose the right one.
What did you learn from the fight week? Because I mean, especially because you're a Queensberry fighter, you kind of managed to see what it was like for Daniel to have to go into a stadium full of Ukrainian fans. What did you kind of learn?
It was the same for me, to be fair. It was just going into that stadium. It was the same for me. I remember when they read out his name on the ring walk, the whole stadium just like roared. And I remember looking at Ricky and looking at Taz, thinking, "Shit, we're in it now." Do you know what I mean? We're in it. And then I remember when I stopped him, I looked around, and the only people who were happy were my supporters, who were just, there was about 50, 60 of them ringside, and that was it. And then I looked around, and everyone just looked like they wanted to take my head off.
Were there any nerves at the beginning? Or?
Not really. I'll be honest with you, not really. I thought it's because you're there. Do you know what I mean? You're there. I only get nervous I believe you only get nervous if you've messed up in training camp, or if you haven't done anything, if you haven't gone over everything and you haven't done everything to the best of your ability. So as long as I've done that, and I've done that in all my fights, I don't really get that nervous, to be fair.
For quite a while, you've sort of been a name that everybody sort of, the next big thing, the next UK fighter who we need to keep an eye on. Yeah. How far are we from you becoming a world champion? I'd
say we're about 2 or 3 fights away from me becoming a world champion. Definitely, for sure. Like I said, I'm not overlooking the Liam Williams fight. I'm not overlooking it at all. But God willing, inshallah, everything goes in the right direction with the right performances, and getting myself in the right ranking of the governing bodies, and maybe even getting myself in a managed position. And that's it. It's there. Do you know what I mean? It's there. There's no beating around the bush. It's you go in there once you get your opportunity, and you bang the buck and you make it happen. And once I get my opportunity, I'll definitely make it happen.
Right, I'm starting to see this just from spending the day with you today, but just for people at home, what would it mean to you to become a world champion?
What would it mean to be a world champion? Everything. I remember, I've been doing this since I was an 8-year-old kid. It's all I've ever been doing. I think maybe for 6 months I was doing an electrical apprenticeship, but aside from that, it's all I've been doing. And then when I got the opportunity to turn pro, it was surreal at the time, because you never really think it's going to happen until it happens. And that's the same thing with even where I am today. I wanted to come to LA and I didn't believe it happened until it did, and now I'm here. And yeah, no, it'd mean everything, man. It'd mean everything. And then that would be like the part 1 of the Hamzah Sheeraz journey closed, and this part 2. Once you win a world title, then you're in that next phase of your career where you can really capitalise. So it's all about, at the minute, getting there. And once I do get there, like I said, it'd mean everything and more. What does this fight then do to that dream? You touched on it briefly. Yeah, no, it's a beating Liam Williams. What it does for me is big things, definitely big things. He's someone who everyone's saying, is going to be an acid test, this, that, the other. And it's my job to go in there and shut them up, shut them critics up, go in there, do what I do best, and just make that dream a reality. Do you know what I mean? If you beat someone like him and you beat him in good fashion, someone who's been in the likes of Chris Eubank Jr., Demetrius Andrade, so on and so forth, I could name a lot of names. No one stopped him. Do you know what I mean? He's been stopped on a cut, but that was a cut. But no one's actually physically stopped him. So if I go in there and do that, then we're in touching distance for sure of that world title. Of course, he still had a fight when you were injured. Did you watch it? What were your thoughts on the first round KO? Yeah, no, I caught his last fight on the highlights. But to be fair, the geezer who was in front of him wasn't really much. Do you know what I mean? And it's not something I can really take much from. It was a running out for him, and he wanted to stay active and whatnot. But yeah, I couldn't really take much from it, to be fair. Did you have any thought? Was it a good KO? Or anything? Yeah, no, it was a good right hand. Good right hand. As long as my chin ain't in the way, I'll be all right. If he landed that punch on you? Well, we'll see what happens for every the 10th if he lands that punch. I mean, obviously, the whole point is to go in there and not for him to land that, and me be vice versa, me land on him. But it's one of them fights where it's got the ingredients to make a real barnstormer. None of us are really known for boxing so much. We're more for going forward and standing there and having it off.
You and him, you don't follow each other on social media. No. Is that an intentional thing? Do you unfollow any, or I don't know if you ever followed him, but do you not follow anyone you fight?
Not really. No one. I don't think I follow anyone in my division. To be fair, I don't think I do anyway, because at the end of the day, I mean, when it's all said and done, it's different. But at the minute, you kind of look at them like they're in your way of getting to success and getting them world titles. They're in your way, and in all fairness, I don't want to see what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. I'll see them fight night in the ring, and that's it. Maybe afterwards, who knows? But as for now, not really.
Is a KO like? How important is that for you in this?
A KO is not massively important. It's not massively important. Listen, I've done it on the trot for 12 fights continuously now. I mean, it is good because it puts bums on seats and it gets you out there. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, especially now, boxing is all about entertaining, especially with the whole YouTube era and whatnot, and Saudi boxing happening now. No one really wants to see 12 rounds. Obviously, the boxing purists you have out there, they appreciate a good 12-round display. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's massively important, but at the same time, I'd do what I'd like to get it, for sure. If
you did knock him out, what sort of statement does that send though, right?
Yeah, massive statement. If I knock Liam Williams out, it's a massive statement. Like I said, because no one's done it before. Everyone's tried, they failed. And he's known to be tough, tough, gritty, gets in there, gets involved. So I'm under no illusion of what I've got in front of me. Let's not mistake that. I'm under no illusion, but with the preparation I'm doing and the way I'm going about things, I don't see why it's not a possibility.
Another thing he's good at, mind games. He talks a good game as well. How are you going to handle that on fight week?
It'll be alright. Mind games, I'm not fazed by much. I'm a person who's not really fazed by much. Like if you was to spend a week with me, you'd think, especially in camp, you'd think I'm just like, all he does is train. You know what I mean? All he does is train. He don't really do much. But I suppose that's the whole purpose of being out here. But yeah, not unless I was to maybe physically get hit or something outside the ring, I don't think I'd be fazed at all.
A fight that happened that maybe put a spanner in your plans, Nathan Heaney and Denzel Bentley. Yeah. What did you think of that fight?
Yeah, the Denzel Bentley and Nathan Heaney fight, I thought, my prediction was Denzel to win within 4 rounds, but at the same time I did say if he goes in there and underestimates him, before you know it could be one of them where you're 7, 8 rounds down and you only got 4 rounds to get the job done. And that was the case, unfortunately. But yeah, well done to Nathan Heaney. That's all you can really say. I mean, he's getting the credit he deserves for that performance with all these awards he's getting, I'm seeing on social media and whatnot. But at the same time, it kind of puts me and himself together. Do you know what I mean? Especially being both Queensberry fighters. And I've always said that I'd like to win a British title if I ever had the opportunity. So God willing, I do get over Liam Williams. There's loads of opportunities there. And the Nathan Heaney fight's a fight I take with both hands for sure.
Fancy it? It's a windy night.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, everyone's saying a cold, rainy night at Stoke. Why not? Why not? Listen, I've been. My first title fight I ever won was against Ryan Kelly. I went to his home in Birmingham, beat him, and then my last fight in Poland, I went on the away show, away promoter, his hometown, Ukrainian, on the Usyk. I know I've done it there. It kind of gives me that extra motivation, extra fire when you go in there, when you go to their hometown and beat them. So. All eyes on February the 10th first. I'm not overlooking that for sure.
Do you rate Nathan though?
Of course. Listen, you got to rate anyone who goes in the ring. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose he gets rated more now, especially after that last performance. But yeah, I can't really concentrate on him too much. I mean, like I said, hats off to him. He done what he had to do, and let's see what happens in the future if me and him do get in the ring.
And just lastly on that, still fancy a fight with Denzel?
Yeah, I mean, if Denzel gets himself in a position, why not? Yeah, definitely. Why not? But I think if the shoe was on the other foot, it'd be like, it's done. Don't worry about that fight now. Do you know what I mean? But it's still got the ingredients to make a great fight. So just good luck to him and good luck on his way back up.
Why do you say that? I
don't know. I feel like that's how the narrative was, because prior to all this happening, it was, Hamzah Sheeraz don't want the fight. He needs to earn his position, etc., etc. But I just kept my mouth shut. Do you know what I mean? Kept my mouth shut. Kept grinding. Kept cracking on with things. I've got my own things to get on with, and my own dreams to chase. So yeah, that wouldn't really faze me.
It's going to be a sore subject now because they're not in great form. But Arsenal.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the season so far?
Do you know, it's always Arsenal. Being an Arsenal supporter is a very emotional, a very emotional roller coaster of a journey, to say the least. But listen, I'm always supporting them. Whenever I can go to the games, I'm always there. Always getting there with Frank, and the players come down to my fights and whatnot. Reece Nelson was that I think my last fight in England, which was the O2 one. That's it. And I think hopefully a few more should be coming to the next fight. So February the 10th, a few Gooners ringside.
Your favourite player?
Not really. Because listen, I'll say I've got a favourite player, then I end up meeting one of the other players, and he's all of a sudden my favourite player. But if I had to pick, probably Saka.
Yeah, he's class, isn't he? Yeah. So young as well. Do you ever speak to Frank about it? Do you ever exchange WhatsApps about?
Yeah. All the time. I remember we went to it was Arsenal versus, I forgot. I think it was one of the first games of last season, maybe against Bournemouth, or was it mid season? And it was one when we was at the top of the league, and one of them that we had to win. And then Reece Nelson scored that absolute banger in the 90th or 94th or 5th minute, right at the last minute. I remember that. And I was with Frank there, and we all went off our heads, and it was a good experience. But yeah, no, I'm always, like I said, when I can get to the games, I always do go with Frank in the box, and it's it's a good experience.
Where do you think they'll finish this season?
Hopefully on top, but you don't know. Do you know what I mean? Especially when it comes to the end of the season, it's a bit all over the place. So yeah, let's see what happens. But hopefully at the top.
When did you first become an Arsenal fan?
When I was from young, it was always my cousins and my uncles. They've always been Arsenal fans, and first it was a case of I just liked the kit, just like the kit when they used to be sponsored. Who was it? About O2 back in the day, and yeah, my first kit I had was a Thierry Henry kit. That was it, Thierry Henry kit, and no, it was good, man. That's from young, just the only team I've ever supported.
You must have been very young, just as they were like the Invincibles.
That's it. I was just past that phase. Just after that phase. That's when I kind of started understanding it a little bit. But no, it was good. But yeah, once a goon, always a goon, as they say.
Just play a little game. I'm just going to say a name of a fighter and just give me a line, what you think about them. Firstly, you've done it a bit already, but Nathan Heaney.
Tough and courageous.
Janabek.
Skillful, strong.
Eubank.
Cocky.
Liam Williams.
Tough.
Erislandy Lara.
Slick.
Charlo.
All over the place.
Hamzah Sheeraz.
The best 160 pounder, yet to be proven, but it will be proven for sure.